are now tuned in to the Lineman Lounge, the world's thickest sports podcast, with your hosts, Mike and Evo.
Come on, Stan, bitches. This is the Lineman Lounge. I'm Mike, and I am joined by a host of characters today. Everybody knows Evo, the guy top center, but we're also joined by Mo from OTC, Jay, Will, Jacob, Roach from Barking Browns, along with Casey Kinnaman, and then we also have Jay, OTC, also at the bottom. Gentlemen, thank you very much for being here. I am pumped. I'm glad that we were able to do this again. So, guys, let's get into some introductions for anybody who's tuning in who maybe doesn't know you. Mo, we'll start with you, top right corner, and then we'll work our way down, gentlemen.
So what's going on? Mo, OTC, represent Browns Nation. You know, we coming hard this year. I'm just saying that off the rip, but yeah, I'm excited to be back and ready to get this mock draft on the road. So let's do it.
All right, Jay Will.
What's going on with y'all, man? I'm Jay Will, coming to you live from OTC, representing for the Browns community. You know what I'm saying? It's my first time on a podcast, so low-key kind of nervous, but hey, we're here.
You got it, man.
Yeah, man, you'll do great. You'll be great.
Especially on this show. We play fast and loose on this one, so.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm glad to be here, man. I appreciate y'all for having me.
I'm sure it's going to be plenty loose because we've already talked about it. Several people are enjoying the holiday. It is April 20th.
Yes, sir.
Definitely playing it loose. You know.
Yeah, I'm just going to drink a beer for now.
I have no clue what you're talking about.
I mean.
Hey, I'm Jacob. I'm over Browns contributor over for Browns Wire, so you can check that stuff out if you want. Casey joins me and our other co-hosts on the Barking Browns on Tuesdays. You can check us out on Twitch.
What's up, guys? Casey Kinnaman here, and as a guy who grew up with his hand in the dirt, it feels right to be on the Lineman Lounge, and excited to kick this mock off. I write for Dog Pound Daily, and I'm also a co-host of the Barking Browns. Great to be here.
Awesome.
All right. J.O.?
What's up, everybody? Great to be back. J.O., owner, creator of OTC. Shout out to Mo and Jay Will for being here today. Shout out to you guys for having us back. We had a lot of fun last time. OTC is a community on Twitter, or X, as you would say now. You can go on there. We host Twitter Spaces, and eventually we'll move to a podcast platform, I'm sure. So OTC, check us out on Twitter and Twitter Spaces. Glad to be here.
Yeah, guys, we're all very, very happy to have everybody here. Today is going to be a great show. I'm super pumped to have everybody here. We're going to do a little bit of housekeeping stuff real quick before we start getting into the show. So for us, for myself and Evo, this is the Lineman Lounge. We also have additional podcasts all underneath one network. That is going to be the No Sleeves Network. You can go to that website. You're going to find our podcast, video game streams, blogs, all of those things are available there. So go check out the No Sleeves Network. Evo, you got anything else you want to add? Because I know you just dropped a couple of blogs as well.
Yeah, I did a couple of blogs, and then I'm finalizing probably today. Basically, it's not a big board, but it's a big board of players that I like. In general, not just for my Vikings or anything like that, but players that I enjoy. So you'll probably see notable names missing from there of guys that I'm not as high on. But just kind of a big board. I'm going to do it by position groups, things like that, along with little real quick comments about each of those players. And so I've been doing a decent amount of work on that, and that should hopefully come out today. Worst case tomorrow.
All right. Guys, so let's get into the show. We're all here to do a mock draft, but I also have some pretty cool information that I was able to obtain Thursday afternoon while I was at Cleveland Browns Stadium. I'm not going to give out too many intricate details because the person that gave this information out, I don't think meant to give it out, and I don't want this person to get in any kind of trouble.
An employee of the Cleveland Browns, though, not just like someone that tears ticket stubs or something, someone that actually
correct. I was in there. I was in this facility in a very nice one of the suite rooms or one of the bars, lounges areas. We had about an hour presentation And then after that, we went into a tour. On the tour, things get loose. You can conversate a little bit. We can all talk. And topic of uniforms, helmets came up because everybody knows that the Browns are going to the white face mask. And I'm in favor of the white face mask. Guys, I would imagine everybody else is as well, right?
Definitely.
Yep, for
So
sure.
clean. Okay, so clean.
Classic look.
Yeah.
Classic look. Well, we're going to get something else that's not classic. During this conversation, this tour, it was brought up that the Browns are also getting a third helmet. So we were having a conversation. The person who was talking to us said, yeah, they love the white face masks. So they're going to be rocking 3 helmets this year. You're going to have your orange, your white, and we're getting chrome helmets, boys. We're getting
All
Dang.
Okay.
Now, I don't know if it's chrome on the dome, chrome on the face mask, but we've seen some different things from the Jets and other organizations where they kind of started to introduce some chrome. This was said kind of in jest, all right? Not to put it out there. And when I heard it, I was like, that feels like this is information that we're not necessarily supposed to have. I made sure to ask the question again. So we're going to have orange helmets, white helmets, and chrome. And the response was to that to make sure, yes, those are the 3 helmets that we're going to get. That is what I have not seen them. I cannot say for sure. Smoke may have been being blown up my ass, but I was told that chrome was on the table. I'm fucking pumped. I've never had inside information before. And I was trying to be very careful with the way I handled it. I don't want too many details out there because I don't want whoever gave that away to have any repercussions from this.
Sleeveless Schefter. Look at that.
There it is.
That's a chrome Browns helmet is nasty. That's gonna be
Oh yeah.
Pre-show, Mike and I were pulling up, like the Jets helmets. They have one, it's a black helmet with the green face mask that's chromed out, or the actual green helmet itself almost has more of a chrome look than a gloss look. But we started pulling up some of that orange chrome, just color in general, and I was like, yeah, it's gonna look pretty fine.
Can't
And
imagine.
so if it's that orange chrome, it's going to look good. If it's just straight chrome, I'll be interested to see what uniform they wear that with.
Yeah. That's a good
Probably be those brown ones.
Or the all white ones.
Yeah, or the all white ones. Can't imagine
All
the Joker
whites.
streaking across the field with a chrome helmet.
I just want to see Nick Chubb
Families.
drive his face mask, chrome or otherwise, right through somebody's chest. That's all I'm looking for this season.
I picked Fitzpatrick.
Exactly.
That's what. Yeah.
I picked Fitzpatrick.
Nick Fitzpatrick is right. All right, so guys, now that news is out of the way, let's get this fucking thing started. Evo, as the MC for the draft process, take it away.
All right, cool. So I got PFF up here for us, just so everyone that is watching understands. We are allowing trades today to keep it realistic, and in the theme of realism, we will be allowing trades in this draft. So anybody that is an owner of these teams can bring up if they would like to trade, or if their team is not on the clock and they want to trade up, they can also pitch that trade to whoever is picking. So with that, the 2024 mock draft has started. All right, Mike, you are up on the clock.
And if I'm the Bears, I've known what I'm doing for a very long time. I'm sprinting up to the podium because Caleb Williams has been the foregone conclusion at number 1 for quite some time. Now, we've done in our previous mock drafts. I do not have Caleb Williams rated as my number 1 quarterback. I have him as 2, with Jaden Daniels being my quarterback number 1. But the Bears are not getting off of Caleb Williams. They've been on it for forever. Doesn't matter if he wants to go, doesn't want to go. That's the pick. Caleb Williams to the Bears.
Alrighty. And that's, I found out actually yesterday, I think that's the only quarterback that they've actually gone and had like in-house for interviews. You've seen all these other teams that are looking at quarterbacks. They're bringing them all in, most famously now the Washington Commanders had everyone out to Top Golf apparently
At the
recently,
same time.
and pissed Jaden Daniels, or at least his representation, off a little bit. But The only person that they've had in-house is Caleb, so it looks like they're truly set on him.
Yeah, that's the pick. There's no way they switch here.
All righty, cool. Washington Commanders are now up on the clock. J.O.
So you stole a little bit of my steam pitching that story. I think Shefty reported that on Pat McAfee about the Top Golf and all of that jazz. At the number 2 pick, no brainer, Jaden Daniels out of LSU for us. Jaden Daniels, 6'4", 210. I think he had like a 72 completion percentage. 95 QBR, I believe. He had 40 touchdowns to 4 interceptions. I do believe Caleb Williams is the number 1 quarterback in this draft, but we will be very happy to land Jaden Daniels at number 2.
The 40 touchdowns it's just a stupid stat line, dude.
To include all of the rushing numbers, that's why I got him as my number 1 quarterback. I know that maybe some of the crazy physical things that Caleb Williams does outshines, but God, I love the way that Jaden just wins from the pocket, man.
Yep.
Yeah, they ain't going to be playing on that field much longer, but hopefully his slight frame can hold up and we don't see his, leg get folded backwards or anything crazy like that. But I think that's definitely the way the Commanders are leaning right now, bringing in Mariota and whatnot. Daniel seems like the guy.
Do they scare any of you guys with the way they handled RG3 and past quarterbacks, or do you feel like
Absolutely.
It's like a new regime? I don't. They scare
the stadium scares me.
That's what scares me.
Stadium.
The stadium's got a history, but it's new ownership, new GM, new coaching stuff, all that.
Well, I think you have to also be worried about Daniels and he doesn't even want to take care of himself either. No. Like that's something you have to think about. That dude has a little bit of jackass in his game.
Yeah, he got Looney Tunes ragdolled a lot this year.
He's out there participating in WrestleMania, dude. Like Goldberg's spearing him every 5 minutes. I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah, he really puts his body on the line for real.
Something real quick, a caveat that the Commanders do not get credit for. You remember when they picked up RG3, they doubled back and picked up Kirk Cousins. So they do have a history of spotting talent in the draft at quarterback. So keep that in mind.
For sure.
First point, J.O.
All right. Next up, we have the New England Patriots. Jacob, you are up.
Oh, man.
Who wants it?
Where's the trade coming from?
Who wants it? So the Vikings is swirling around here. We have 2 firsts, a third and a future first out there. Just saying.
If it's 2 firsts, a future first and a third, I'm taking that. Boom, done.
Yeah, hey, I'm moving up to get my franchise QB to go get my guy with Jettas that could get the ball to Jettas down the field. He a little raw, but you feel me, with a good offensive coordinator and a good receiver with him, I feel like, and they got a good tackle, in Darisaw, so it's not like their O-line is just terrible. They have a decent O-line. Yeah.
It was above average last year. They got Darisaw, they got O'Neal on the right side.
Yep.
Both of them are top 10 tackles in the league. It's a great spot. You get Aaron Jones in there, who's a great receiving back as well. Looked really good towards the end of the year. It seems like a setup perfect for a rookie quarterback. So is this the trade that's happening? 11-23, a first next year and a third next year for pick number 3?
Yep.
All righty.
I think you're gonna have to probably force it.
Yeah. Definitely.
I just fucked my board all the way up. So what? So am I not picking at 23 for Minnesota anymore? Is that what you just did?
Not for Minnesota. It would be for New England at this point. And then, am I correct here? It is Drake.
Oh, May. New England. Okay, I'm bugging. Yeah, y'all good. I'm bugging.
Yeah, you'd still have the 23rd pick. You're just picking for a different team.
Correct.
Okay.
All right. Drake May coming off the board.
And don't forget about Jacoby being there, man. Don't forget about Jacoby being there and able to bring him along. Jacoby's got all that experience with Alex Van Pelt. Like, that's a great spot for me.
Yeah.
I really like Jacoby. I mean, I think that he's a good quarterback. The problem is that
in New England. Sorry.
Jacoby.
Damn it.
See?
There still may be a quarterback there for New England at 11, though.
Actually,
and at 23.
I've got something to say when I come back up. That's fine.
So who are you picking, Mo?
Oh, right here. Oh, it's not even a question. Marvin Harrison, come on down. You might as well just have your red on.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, for the Cardinals, yeah, I'm taking Marvin.
Yeah, I was wondering if you were going to trade out of this spot with the quarterbacks flying off the board.
I mean, yeah, but
Got a sure thing, man.
That's what I'm saying. Like you're getting the top talent in the draft. I don't know if I want to pass on that with Kyler. Like they don't have D-Hop, they don't have Marquise Goodwin, they have Wilson, and they traded Rondale Moore. He only got no receivers.
They got their tight end who also started to show out last year. I can't think of his name.
You talking about McBride?
Yeah.
Oh, it is McBride. Yeah.
All right, Marvin Harrison coming off to the Cardinals. Now I got a question. Got a lot of people who are fans of the Browns here, probably Ohio State to some extent. If Marvin Harrison Jr. didn't have the pedigree, didn't have his dad's name, and he was put in the same class with Malik Neighbors and Roma Dunze, do you think that he would still be considered the number one overall guy, or do you think that there is some nepotism with this where people are looking at him as just the overall number one prospect?
I think you go and look at the quarterback play he had last year and then look up the stats, the numbers, and the tape that he put on the field. And you say, I'm sure it helps. It certainly doesn't hurt him. But, like, I look at the Michigan game where the dude tackles him and he's on the ground and he catches it. I look at the game where he somehow decided to put his leg at a 90-degree angle to get his foot in bounds. Like, this dude does things we haven't seen before in a long time.
The body control is absolutely insane.
And one thing about Marvin that I always said is, like, if you have a player that goes out and you like, man, if we had him, we win the game. Like, that's a difference maker for me. And Marvin, when he went out in the championship game against Georgia, he would have been the difference maker that we would have popped their top off and we would have won the game. So I think if you can get Kyler in a better rhythm, especially coming off the ACL, he got a little bit of rhythm, but they really have to build that team. And I think if you get him and you build some building blocks around Marvin with Kyler and you get him a decent O-line, he'll be set.
All righty. Well, that takes us to pick number 5. Chargers up on the clock, and Casey, you're selecting for him. Where do you think you're going?
Well, here's the thing, man. I got to ask myself the question: what would Jim Harbaugh do? You know, so do I pick Blake Corum? Do I eat my own boogers? I don't know. But I think I have to save myself here because if you look at everything here, they lost Keenan. You know what I'm saying? You finally move way up from Mike Williams. So you look at the receivers. But at the end of the day, man, you look at like scarcity and you look at commodity. You got a franchise quarterback. That is the hardest thing to do. So I just invested in him, $262 million. I got to protect that investment. I'm looking here at the board, and I know you got a left tackle in Rashawn Slater, but dude, if you have Joe Alt, you get him on your team. You get the best 5, and you put the best 5 on the field, and you protect your investment. So that's what I'm doing here, man. I'm protecting my investment. I'm fighting the urge to draft Blake Corum, and I am going to pick Joe Alt.
All righty. Would you entertain trade offers here?
No.
Right.
Okay.
Joe Alt could be a generational tackle. He's the best prospect since Penei Sewell. I am protecting my $262 million investment.
Yeah.
And Tennessee Titans fans everywhere just fucking started crying.
100%.
You son of a bitch.
All righty. That brings up the Giants. Jay Will.
I think it's kind of a no-brainer for the Giants. They go on receiver. Because I think they need a number one receiver to go along with Daniel Jones since I guess they buying into him. I don't know why, but I think Roma Dunze might be that guy. He's all around just a complete receiver. And, you know, to me, he's better than Malik Neighbors.
Really?
Ooh, wow.
I like Roma a lot. I don't know if I like him better than Malik, but situationally, I do like the Roma Dunze fit there. So that's going to be your pick?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
All righty.
Yeah, they got a bunch of little receivers, man. I think you have to start matching body types. You get a bigger receiver like Rome. I think that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I can see the fit issue there. Yeah.
All righty. Well, that brings up the Tennessee Titans. Now I am on the clock, and I am one of those not Tennessee fans, but as the Tennessee GM, I'm crying because Joe Alt is now off the board. Look, it seems like such a perfect fit. You sit him right next to Peter Skoronski. You got a really good left side of the line there. And then you've got other guys now at tackle where Talise Fuanga, I like him on the right side. He's primarily played right side. Fatanu is good, but he's still a bit of a step down, a tier down for me. So at this point, I think you almost just got to go BPA and give Levis more options here. Yeah, I'm going Malik Neighbors for the Titans. Calvin Ridley, D Hop, Malik Neighbors.
Sheesh.
I don't hate that at all,
That's
man.
nasty. That's nasty.
You don't think they still go O-line if they can't get Joe off?
I think that they should, but if someone's not trying to trade up with them to that point to end up going up to get a falling JJ McCarthy, which I think is absolutely a possibility. I mean, if you look at who's the Patriots still could go after that quarterback at 11 or move up for one. You've got the Broncos and Raiders sitting there as well. I think that 7 is a really good trade up spot. Same here with 8 for someone to jump up and get JJ McCarthy, but I'd feel a little bit better about taking one of those tackles just a little bit further down because I feel like Fuanga would be really good for him, but I'm liking the solidifying of that left side, and I want more of a true left tackle. So Fatanu would be the guy if I went offensive line, but I'm just going to overload the offense with talent. You've got Callahan coming over from the Bengals. The Bengals haven't had shit for O-line for quite a while. He's just going to hope his dad coming over from the Brownies there can fix that O-line with, patchwork, piecemeal stuff. But he knows that if you surround a quarterback with good receiving talent, that you can get a lot out of him. So we're just going to, Traylon Burks, Malik Neighbors now, D-Hop, Calvin Ridley. We're just going to put nothing but receivers out there and see what happens.
It's also a hella deep tackle class. So getting one in the top top 10 picks of the second isn't a totally bad thing. But hey, Mike, I'm going to give you a phone call here.
Yeah, I kind of figured because I don't even want to pick here right now if I'm the Falcons because if I'm looking at my needs, D-line and cornerback, I'm not ready to pick Quinyon Mitchell just yet. I could trade down and still get him, who in my opinion is the best cornerback in this draft. So who are you calling for, Jacob?
I'm calling for the Pats at 11. I'm calling
at 11.
Yeah, I mean, you've got a situation where you slid down, you add a pair of first round picks to do so, and now you're looking to go from 11 to 8. Will you do 11, 34, and a 3 next year? Because you got to pay quarterback tax.
Yes, quarterback tax is very much a real thing. I was thinking about asking for the 2, but if I get the 2 this year at 34, that makes me very happy. So if you toss in that extra third, that's for sure. I'm slam dunk. We're trading that.
Is it going to be Minnesota's third or New England's original third?
I
will take New England. I would love New England's third.
Yeah,
because Minnesota's third is going to be a lot deeper in the draft than the Patriots, who are going to be very stinky.
It's a win-win. It's a win-win for me. Yeah, you can have that.
Look, May's going to sit the entire year for Minnesota. Sam Darnold's taking us to the NFC Championship. I don't know. So it's going to be that third round pick's basically a 4th, right?
Oh my God.
Right. Makes sense.
Are you sure you haven't been enjoying the holiday Evo? Because there ain't no fucking way Sam Darnold's taking you anywhere.
I have not. All right. So 11-34 this year and a third round from New England next year for number 8 with Atlanta. Am I correct in this? Execute.
That is correct.
All
right. Now I'm going to say what I said before because I was a dumbass when I said this. But you go in this position with Jacoby Brissett as the starter heading into week 1 for the Patriots, who has, I don't know if it's the most upside, but certainly towards the most upside at the position, especially with who's left. And that's JJ McCarthy, because they haven't asked JJ McCarthy to do a ton. I'm not super ecstatic about taking JJ McCarthy in the top 10, but that's just the NFL that we're in right now. Because if I look at McCarthy, if I look purely on arm talent, yeah, he's got all of it. 80% adjusted completion percentage for him. He can make all the throws. He's just never been asked to make all the throws. So put him in there in a really nice quarterback play action run heavy system ran by Alex Van Pelt which is what he did at Michigan. So when he does see the field, he has some comfort and familiarity there, but in a great spot to learn. So I slide back. I still have an extra first round pick this year, and I still get JJ McCarthy.
Hey, look, I have been deep into the quarterback class as a Vikings fan, thinking about who they're going to get. I'm comfortable with McCarthy. And the thing that I like to parrot that a lot of other people are saying is that an absence of evidence isn't evidence of absence with his arm talent. He's not being asked to do a lot of that. That being said, I like to play devil's advocate with it and argue with myself on the subject. And it's, if Harbaugh knew that he's got such a talented arm there, why wasn't he using it more? Who cares about the fact that you got a good running game, that you're ahead? Why not use it more? I could argue it either way, but being able to basically get another first round pick there and a little bit extra, get JJ McCarthy still, he doesn't have to start, even though I think he might be the most pro ready out of this group. Like it's a good get. Plus, it's another Michigan man going there, you know, strong jawed Michigan guy going to New England. So I guess that fits perfect with the NFL script, huh?
Yeah.
I still have concerns with JJ on his ball placement, but listen, he's shown that he can make a lot of throws, especially through this draft process. I got him as my number 3. I actually had him above Drake May because Drake May's wild inaccuracies at times. So sliding back here, it makes a ton of sense. Still getting a quarterback.
All righty. Pick number 9, Chicago Bears. Jo, you are up. We're going to pair with your quarterback of the future.
Well, I wanted a Duzier, the kid out of Washington, but he went a little bit earlier, so I think I'm going to shift my strategy a little bit with them. I'm still trying to wrap my mind around JJ McCarthy going in the top 10. I'm like dizzy right now.
I know.
I don't know what NFL is coming our way, but this shit is terrible if he's top 10. But with that being said, I do feel like he's a gamer. So I mean, we'll see. But I think I'm gonna go with defense for Chicago instead of the wide receiver. I feel like the wide receivers that were in consideration for that pick, they're pretty much off the board for me. So I am going to go with the 6'4" kid out of Alabama. His name slips me right now. Dallas Turner.
Dallas Turner
out of Alabama. I think that, they do need defense. He's an edge. He's 6'4". I think he ran like a 4.46 or something like that in the 40. He's 245. Nice size kid. Playmaker. I think he'll add something good to that room, that defensive line room for Chicago. He wasn't going to be my first pick, like I said, but after I transitioned away, I feel like it'll be a great addition for Chicago. I kind of consider trading back a little bit, but I'm going to go ahead and grab some defense for Chicago. So Dallas Turner is my pick.
All right.
Him with Sweat.
Yeah.
It could be dangerous. And then we've actually seen this model very specifically work last year with the Houston Texans. Take a potentially generational pass rusher and potentially your future star quarterback. That can get you on the right track real fucking fast.
Well, I see it, especially with them. Like, I was going to go with Duzier, but, like, with all the talent that they added this offseason, and then, having more. And, I mean, they added, Keenan Allen. They got Swift over there. I mean, they got talent on offense, so it's not like you have to add a receiver, in my opinion. I felt like if the right guy fell to you there, go take him, but they definitely need somebody else to pair with Sweat, like you said. So, yeah, I think that's a good pick for them.
Yeah. Now, I wouldn't be surprised, though, if the Bears did try to trade down in this, because in this draft, they have a total of 4 picks.
Yeah.
So I could see them trying to pick up a little bit of mid-round capital, move back a little bit. And it's possible that you could still get Turner or one of those other top ends, if you're only going 5 picks down or so. But it makes sense to me. I've talked about this a lot, like that D-line, whether it's an interior guy or an edge guy to line up across from Sweat, makes a lot of sense with the Bears there. All right, next up we got pick number 10 here, New York Jets on the clock. And Jacob, you are up.
Troy Fontenot. I don't even think I hesitate very much, and part of it is like now I'm going to say this, and you guys are not going to know that it's a nickname potentially. Casey knows what I'm about to call myself, but let me explain before everybody jumps the game. All right. I'm a little bit of a sex addict, okay? Because
I was gonna say whore, but I don't know you that well, so
I am. I'm.
It sounds like you do. Sounds like you know him pretty well.
Hey yo. But no. One of my favorite podcast, draft podcasts, is the NFL Stock Exchange podcast. That's what they call the fans, the sex addicts.
Me too.
Yeah.
Oh,
So,
okay.
but I lean a lot on Connor Rogers, especially when he talks about the Jets and kind of where they are, as he is a Jets fan, has covered the Jets. That's where he started. But with Fatano, you have a guy that can do both. They can play inside, he can play outside. They have 2 starting tackles, but their left tackle hasn't played 17 games, 16 games, and I don't know, half a decade, that sort of thing. So you're really going to bet a 40-year-old Aaron Rodgers on that? I don't know. But you get your best 5 out there. So maybe Fatano starts as a guard while the other tackles are heavy, and then he are healthy, and then he kicks out if there's an injury, and then down the line, eventually he's the left tackle of the future in there. And I just think it makes just a ton of sense for them.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I agree.
All righty. Pick 11. We got the Falcons back up on the clock after their trade down. Mo, you would be taking over for this Falcons pick here at pick 11.
So the ideal pick for the Falcons went to JL. So if I'm them, they need some edge help. Give me Verse. I like Verse. Verse is very. I like Latu's pass rush ability, but Verse, I just think it's just his body. He has good hand usage. He's explosive. I like him. I think he can be one of those ones. Him and Latu, I think, are Dallas is nice too, though, man. Those are the top 3, clear 3 in my opinion. But Dallas went first, so I go Verse for them.
I always like that when they talk about Dallas Turner. It's like someone's got a Lamborghini, but they got a kid driving it right now. That's what like if he reaches that potential, like he's insane athlete, but he needs to work on those skills. Whereas Verse seems to be more well rounded, and Latu is just like you got the medical question with the neck. But his pass rush skills, like he's been the most efficient pass rusher in college football for, like 2 years. So it's kind of pick your poison and what you're willing to possibly deal with there. But yeah, Verse seems like a perfect type of fit there for the Falcons.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. 12, Denver Broncos. Casey, you are up again.
Up again, and this is the second time I got to get inside the mindset of an egomaniacal head coach.
Bo Nix.
Well, here's the thing, man. Like talk about need heavy. The Broncos need shit, period. But they don't have a ton of assets from all the fuckery they've went under the last couple of years. Or they might have wanted to make a trade up and get one of these top quarterbacks. They couldn't do it. They're at the mercy of the board. They're so need heavy. You're looking at this board. Could they use a Brock Bowers? Hell yeah. Could they use Cooper DeJean? Hell yeah. Fuanga. They have needs. But if you look at their roster, we're talking about Ben fucking DiNucci and Jared Stidham. That don't play. That don't play.
And
it's Bo Nix.
James Madison.
The Nooch is he's fun to watch.
Yeah. That don't play in this league. They got to take Bo Nix. This is the move. Bo Nix, let's ride.
I hate this pick, but I also hope that it happens because when the thing went down with Russell Wilson, I was done. I don't like the Broncos anyways, but fuck Sean Payton for the way that all went down. It was a terrible way to handle that situation. That is a veteran leader of the team. They handled it so poorly. So I hope they pick Bo Nix because Bo Nix is not a first-round quarterback. He throws everything behind the line of scrimmage, and he has athletes that go and make plays for him. And Denver doesn't have athletes like that make plays from behind the line of scrimmage. They got
that's what Denver wants. That's what Peyton wants, an avatar. Peyton wants someone just to run his system, to do as he's told. That's all Peyton wants. And that's why he's picking Nix. Is this what I would do? Hell no. But then again, you put me in the mind of Sean Payton. What am I supposed to do?
Give people money to hurt people, and then
hey. My man Greg catching strays.
What was the movie that they did where they had
Home
James.
team, I think.
Oh,
I don't even know what it's
Yeah,
called.
We're gonna
Kevin
get
James.
a sequel of that with Kevin James. That'd be great. All right, Vegas Raiders 13 up on the clock. Jay Will.
well, I honestly think AP might do a solid for the Raider Nation because they need a quarterback, and the best quarterback available at this point, I think, was Michael Penix. And he's a West Coast guy. He kind of fits their kind of pedigree that he's growing over there. So I think that might be their best fit. And I mean, I'm gonna go with Michael Penix.
All right.
I like that pick better than I like Bo Nix. I like Michael Penix 1,000 times more than I like Bo Nix.
Facts, yeah, and he's very accurate down the field, and I think that can help with Devontae. Him and Devontae, I think they can have a nice little chemistry.
And Penix has a howitzer for an arm, and that the Raiders have a long history of big arm quarterbacks.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely. All right. That puts me up on the clock with the Saints. Picked 14. And this one is relatively easy for me. Like, if there's a receiver on the board, obviously you would consider it because they don't have much receiving talent there. But with the news about Ryan Ramczyk and that knee maybe not holding up and not a whole lot else, I'm going for my favorite right tackle, which is Talise Fuanga. I love him on the right side. He's probably pretty close to a plug-and-play guy because I don't think Ramczyk, playing bone-on-bone is going to be long for the NFL. So Fuanga's guy for me there at the Saints, pick 14.
All right.
Yeah,
All
from
right.
Penn State is sliding. That's crazy.
All righty. Pick 15, Colts. Mike, you are up.
Yeah, so I didn't make my last pick, but I'm excited for this one. In our last mock draft, I did go receiver here. Now, sure, maybe overdraft, yeah, but I thought Brian Thomas Jr. would be a real nice fit in that offense, give him that long threat while you have guys like Downs and Pittman working underneath. But it's so hard with a potential fit here to pass on a potentially generational talent in Brock Bowers. That tight end spot can absolutely be addressed here by the Colts. This is a fucking slam dunk if you're the Colts too. Like, they're excited as hell if they can get a Brock Bowers. So that's what I'm going here. We're going Brock Bowers.
Anthony Richardson and Brock Bowers, Pittman.
Could be dirty. Some Josh Downs.
And Josh Downs, yeah. I was
Got a receiving core there.
I love Josh Downs, man. Like, that was that was my white whale.
Yeah,
I wanted the Browns to get him last year, man.
And you saw the drop off for Drake May when Downs left. I mean, having some talent to no talent out there, you saw that drop off. Downs obviously made a difference up there, and he did great for the Colts last year too. All right, Seattle Seahawks. Jo, what?
Well, I just want to say, Jay Will, I hate your fucking guts right now, bro. Hey, bro, I did
Tar Heel
not.
love, brother.
Oh, okay, you brought it back. All right, so I did not anticipate us making trades in this draft, but I adjust on the fly. But I absolutely had Michael Penix targeted for Seattle. Absolutely had him targeted for Seattle.
I ain't gonna lie, I like him better there, but that's thinking like this,
bro. Like,
Yeah.
show me the top available picks left in the draft right now.
That's
That's what we need to do. Just show me the board right now, bro. Because my other cat, Troy Fontenot, he left up out. Oh my gosh, man! I like Cooper DeJean. I've watched this tape, man. I really do like him. I think he can
he's
do a
athletic
lot of.
too.
He's athletic as shit, and I've seen him returning kicks. He can do a lot of stuff, man. So just because my fellow clock brother screwed me over in this draft, I'm gonna go with Cooper DeJean, man, from Iowa.
Do you see him fitting in there as a cornerback, or you think they might play him at safety because he's got that versatility to play basically anywhere in the defensive backfield?
Honestly, the thing that really surprised me when I turned his tape on was his versatility. So going to safety, I mean, honestly, they think he can do it. I think he can do it. I was surprised at how athletic he was. Like, he was all over the field. Like, I felt like every other time I turned his tape on, like, I seen something new. Like, damn, he's returning kicks. Like, I don't know. His versatility is good. I don't know. He might work out at safety better than corner, but I know when they draft him, they're drafting an athlete and they're drafting a football player. So I think that's a good pickup for them.
I think if they get him though, because they didn't they let go of both their safeties, Jamal and
I mean,
Oh,
was
they did.
They let
Jamal
go
a
both
safety
their
or
safeties.
just
So I think if he
a
goes
head
there,
case?
he's playing safety.
I feel like I would love to see Cooper play corner, and Team White could use a white cornerback. Fucking Jason Sehorn. Jason Sehorn was 20 fucking years ago.
Yeah.
So
Oh no!
Closer to 30. We're closer to 30.
maybe closer to 30 years ago.
Yeah.
But him
Yep.
sliding in at that safety spot, I think
Not
he'd slide in
Team
perfectly.
I'm 33. I can't remember one.
Yo, Jacob is acting up on this fucker's mock, bro. He is acting
Oh,
up,
this
bro.
year, man.
I mean, if he could be like in a C.J. Gardner Johnson type role where he could come into like the nickel slot, like the slot of like the nickel,
A big nickel.
Like a big nickel.
He's such a hybrid player back there that
That's it.
situationally you can play him wherever
Yeah.
you need to.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Well, that's just
Swiss
it. He
Army
has the
knife.
skills to play corner, but putting him at safety allows him to be versatile, allows him to be that defensive weapon
Yeah.
the quarterbacks have to locate when they come to the line of scrimmage, because he could be anywhere, man. You can slide him in, overhang in the box, nickel, and like you said, and the return stuff, man. Like he's going to be special, man.
Yeah, his versatility is crazy. So yeah, that's my pick, fellas.
So fast.
All right, Duval is on the clock. Jacob.
Buddy, this is easy. Quinyon Mitchell being available at pick 17 is criminal. And the fact that it took to pick 16 for any of the corners to come off the board. I don't think it's a crazy deep corner class, but Quinyon, Cooper, Terrion Arnold, Kool-Aid McKinstry, Andrew Wiggins. I think the top five, they're all day one starters to me. I think all five of those corners are day one starters. They should be first round picks. I got to see Quinyon Mitchell up close in the MAC, and when you're in a small school, you better dominate on the field. And there was not a game this year in the Mid-American Conference where Quinyon Mitchell wasn't the best player on the field, period, in any game that he played. That dude is he's nasty, he's physical, he's fast, he is not afraid of you, and he's just a fantastic player.
Yeah, he's my favorite cornerback in the draft. After especially Senior Bowl and everything, he kind of showed that he can do everything. He's not typecast. And big time need, obviously, there for the Jaguars. All right, Bengals up on the clock. We got Mo.
Yes, sir. So seeing how this board fell, I'm really surprised because this just before this combine, he was a consensus top 10 pick, and we need a right tackle. Like I'm a Browns fan, but the Bengals, they need a right tackle. So give me the kid for Penn State. Give me Olu, top right tackle available. Bring him on. Come on. You got your anchor. You got your anchor now on the right side. He's a little raw, but I think with his tools, you can mold him, and he can be nasty on that right side. So that's enough.
Got to get stronger, but yeah, if he gets stronger, I think he's
great.
Kind of seen as like the best pure pass blocker in this class.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
All righty. Rams with their first selection in the first round since Jared Goff. Casey, take it away.
Yeah, man, it's been a minute. We're a little rusty. We've been killing the late round stuff, but we ain't got a shot on prime time. But if you just look, I think corner's a heavy need for him. But if you look at what has happened on the board, you can't ignore the fact they just lost AD, Aaron Donald. Man, that's a massive loss. And if you look at the talent here, I think they got to pick between Murphy and Newton. I'm leaning Newton here, man. I think that's the move.
Now, would you be willing to entertain a trade from someone like the Buffalo Bills?
We'll see what the Bills are talking. Here's the thing. I ain't trading out of the first. We don't get first. So we can't trade all the way out of the first, but I got to see what the comp is.
So I got the Buffalo Bills. I would be willing to give you pick 28, second next year because I got an extra second, and maybe 133 this year to move up to 19.
I'll tell you what, you take that 133 off the board and throw me 128, and it's a deal.
All righty. I'm about it. We're good to go here?
Yes, sir.
All righty. Well, Bills just moved up, and my intention moving the Bills up is go for a receiver because you get rid of Stephon Diggs, you ain't got nothing there. You got to give Josh Allen something to go for. So do I now make this pick, or is it still with Casey?
No, I mean, when they traded up to me, whoever it was that traded up made the pick, and then I made the Patriots pick when it came back on 11. So I think
Well, I just made the Falcons pick, and I think that's because of the trade down. So I think you just pick right in that spot.
All right, cool. Well, I'm going Brian Thomas Jr. I see PFF has moved things around. A.D. Mitchell is a little bit higher now than Brian Thomas, but I think Brian Thomas is the replacement for Gabe Davis up there, but better at everything with more upside, and he's just a better overall receiver. So Bill's moving up there for Brian Thomas Jr.
Yeah, Brian Thomas is what everybody tries to convince you Gabe Davis is.
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
For sure.
I mean, yeah, I can see
Gabe
that.
Davis 2 years
Gabe
ago
had
maybe.
a breakout in the playoffs, and everybody was expecting to continue to see that growth, that trend.
Yeah.
And after the playoffs, it was not there. Like, it was gone. Maybe he's a gamer, steps his game up in those crunch times, but man, there was a drastic drop off from 2 years ago to this last year.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, pick number 20. Pittsburgh Steelers are on the clock. Jay Will, who are you going for?
A lot of people got the tackle from Georgia going there, but I honestly think they might go with the center from Oregon. What's his Powers Johnson?
Jackson Powers Johnson.
My favorite fucking person to talk about in this draft. He's a dude.
Sorry about that. I got a phone call. What did y'all say? I'm sorry.
We love Jackson Powers Johnson.
Oh yeah. I think that's the guy they most definitely need, because I mean they're kind of straight everywhere else, but I think because the Steelers are always known to have that center that just seem like he's gonna be there a while. He's gonna anchor down that old line, man, and I think Powers Johnson might be that guy for them.
All right, so that's your selection.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Ingo, you want to hear how stupid I am?
Sure.
Always.
So you had Quinion Mitchell as your pick instead of taking Jackson Powers Johnson at 17?
No. For like 6 weeks I called him Austin Powers Jackson because I genuinely thought that was his name.
Hey, he probably would like that. If you haven't seen him doing interviews or anything yet, check him out. He's going to be like the next Jason Kelsey type of character along an offensive line. So Austin Powers Johnson, he might dig that. Yeah,
he might. Yeah.
I hate that pick. And I'm sure everybody in here should hate that pick as Browns fans, that we do not want to see JPJ going over to the Steelers and solidifying their offensive line.
Yep. All righty. Miami Dolphins on the clock. That is me. Offensive line is a huge need for them. Connor Williams tore his knee up late in the year. He's not even on the squad right now. You lose Robert Hunt. So I'm definitely looking towards the interior. Now, a guy that's listed here as as a tackle, Graham Barton, he's actually more of a center, can play some guard as well. His game definitely caters towards that. That's where I'm going. Graham Barton, interior flexibility. Otherwise, I'd be looking at edge talent, but they need to solidify that interior offensive line. Otherwise, Tua is just not going to – like, he somehow survived last year, but I don't know that it's going to be repeatable if you don't have an interior line.
I like him way better inside than outside. Makes sense.
Yep. All right, Mike, you are up with the Philly Eagles.
Oh, God. So at this point, like I'm not excited necessarily with who I have on the board. We talked about this in our last mock. It says wide receiver. I don't feel like they really need a wide receiver. Linebacker is way too rich. There's not a first-round linebacker in this class. So we're gonna go. I'm gonna go Terrion Arnold, probably best cornerback on the board. Need to help replace the aging, declining secondary. So Terrion Arnold will be the pick at 22 there.
Look, I think for a lot of people, he's still the number one cornerback in this class. So getting him this late is great for the Eagles because they need that defensive back help for sure.
I agree. I absolutely agree because they're getting old back there.
All right, pick 23, formerly the Vikings, formerly the Houston Texans pick to the Patriots. I don't know who's selecting this one anymore.
I believe this should be, I think, my pick because I think Jacob there was a pick swap that happened. I don't know who the hell is picking this one anymore either. If I'm being honest.
What pick is this? Is it
23?
Pick 23 was part of the Drake May trade for pick number 3 from the Patriots.
So who was picking number 23 originally?
That's
I
me.
think we,
J.O.
yeah, I
Oh,
think
Jay-
we
oh,
established
yeah.
since that was an extra pick thrown in there that Jay was still going to make it.
Yeah. So Jay.
All right, well,
Yeah.
Jo, you are up with the Patriots then for their second selection.
All right, can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Damn. So the Patriots are picking 23, huh?
Mhm.
Damn it. Well,
Picked up McCarthy early. Oh no, they did pick up
Yeah,
McCarthy
they got
earlier.
JJ McCarthy
Yeah,
earlier,
they
so they got
did.
the quarterback.
man, God. 'Cause
This is
I
kind of a
wanted-
nice spot to be in because outside of Gonzalez at cornerback, who else do you have on that team that's worth a shit?
Oh, not for real.
Holy smoke. Okay, so look.
Defense is pretty soft, man.
I don't think you can go wrong.
The kid from UCLA still there?
Yes.
Latu's there, yeah.
Oh man. All right, let me have him.
Sounded so convinced for that pick.
Just found out you got cancer or something. All right.
He's a
He's
ball
my
player.
favorite edge in the class.
I hate 10 sacks a year, you know?
Well, here's the thing. Well, here's the thing, man. I don't even want to divulge it. I'll divulge it later. I got a pick. I got one more pick later. I'll divulge it. So I'll divulge it later. I'm gonna hold on to it. But the thing, picking for the Patriots is so fucking weird considering that, Bill isn't there no more. It's like everything that you thought that the Patriots used to be about and do, the trade backs infinity and all the other bullshit, and him looking like a crazy GM. Like they might actually be like formidable in the draft. So it's kind of hard to, guesstimate what that new regime's gonna do there. But I'll take him. And no, he's a hell of a football player. I agree with you. So yeah, they're gonna be lucky if he actually is there when it's their turn to pick, if they do pull off something like that and have a trade where they can trade back and grab their quarterback, even though I don't know about the quarterback that was grabbed. I think that 2-for-1 in the first round, grabbing a dominant edge rusher and a quarterback would be a hell of a steal for them. So yeah, I'll take them.
Yeah. Now I hadn't thought about this until now, but we're not going to be able to see Bill's dog sitting in the war room, if you will, his kitchen
None of that
anymore. Sitting at the computer making picks. That's going to be a bummer.
I'm pretty sure the dog was making the picks there towards the end.
If that was the year that they took Mac Jones, you goddamn know it was. All right. Dallas Cowboys on the clock. Jacob.
Criminal.
Jerry Jones.
Criminal, man. Put Johnny Newton next to Micah Parsons. Are you kidding me? Johnny Newton and Micah Parsons on the front of that defensive line. Dude, it's overthink season bigger than shit. Johnny Newton is a blue chip prospect for me. This is a top 10 talent, borderline top 5. Everybody called him. Here's my favorite thing, right? Everybody said it was a down year for Johnny Newton. Can you pull that up? Because he had double the sacks this year than last year. How's that a down season?
And he wasn't playing with much help out there along that defensive line. He was getting a lot of the focus. I'm a big Johnny Jerzon Newton fan. Like, it depends on the team for me between him and Byron Murphy, but like, this is absolutely sealed. It's criminal for both those guys to still be on the board, to be honest.
15.4 pass rush win rate from your D tackle.
That's nasty work.
That's insane.
Yeah. All right, that's fine. Yeah, put him next to Micah Parsons. See what the hell happens.
Dog.
It'd be dirty.
Shit, you let them tell it. Mike ain't gonna be there.
Yeah, right.
All right, Green Bay Packers on the clock. It's up to you to tank this team, Mo.
Mo, it's your turn to tank them. Hey, man, hold on. Wait, real quick. Before you go, Mo, I'm starting to see a trend. Lineman Lounge, and we got to get this together. The OTC boys can't be picking for Pittsburgh every year, bro.
Yeah. And I was just picking for the Bengals, too. That's crazy.
Yeah,
Listen,
bro.
I'm not gonna give myself the Steelers because I've never seen a first round kicker. And
Wasn't Sebastian Janikowski a first round pick?
He was.
Oh, yeah. It was a first round or something like that, first or second.
Yeah.
How do
He
y'all
could have
feel
played
about that?
linebacker for you if need be.
How do y'all feel about that, though? Because he's like a Hall of Fame kicker, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Was
He
it
was
worth
good.
it? Was it worth it? I mean, honestly, if you get Hall of Fame,
Who
out
did
the
he get
first
picked
round-
over?
Oh shit, it was late.
Yeah, that's the real question.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, I mean, is it though? So that's why I want to have this real quick discussion. I mean, even if it's a kicker or a punter, if you pick somebody in the first round that turns out to be Hall of Fame, that's pretty damn
I mean,
good.
I think it depends on the impact that they have.
It depends on the impact and like who gets drafted after him, like who you could have gotten. You could have got like a lot more impactful player.
Hall of Fame?
Yeah, no, I
mean, a Hall of Fame
know.
kicker probably gonna be playing like 15 years, bro. So that probably won't happen until like down the road. You know what I'm saying?
We don't know who was on the Raiders team in 2000 when they selected him, but they picked him at pick 17. And I'll just quick recap who was taken after him: Chad Pennington, Sean Alexander, Stalker McDougal, Sylvester Morris, Chris McIntosh, Rashad Anderson, Ahmad Plummer, Chris Hovan.
I think they did a good job.
Eric Flowers.
Shit.
Keith Bullock.
It's not that bad.
Give me Janikowski.
Yeah.
Sean Alexander though.
Sean Alexander though.
Give me Janikowski.
Real nice prime. Had a very nice prime.
No,
Hey,
for real.
Give me Janikowski.
Over Sean Alexander?
Fuck it.
Hey. That's what Al Davis said, I guess.
Alrighty. Well, look, I don't know if there's a Janikowski in this class, but Mo, if you want to go do that for the Packers.
Well, my ideal prospect for the Packers would have been Cooper, but seeing how I mean, one thing the Packers like to do is like to beef up their D line, so don't look at me like that, Evo. Don't.
You're about to pick Evo's favorite D tackle.
Do it.
You son of a bitch.
I mean, he's still there. Give me Byron Murphy. Like,
yeah,
it's a no-brainer.
Look, he's a dog. He's a dog.
Man amongst boys, for real.
Him, Kenny Clark, and the edges they got, the edge rotation.
My Lord.
Nasty work, Mo.
Yeah. Hey.
Bummer. It's all right. All right then. Tampa Bay Buccaneers are up. Casey.
So when I look at this, man, I'm looking between wide receiver and offensive line. I think those are the two most pressing needs right now for the Buccaneers. But I got to be honest, man. You got the Warhorse and Mike Evans. You got Goodwin over the middle. I like Trey Palmer as a field stretcher. I think they've given Baker enough to work with there. But if anyone who's followed Mayfield's career, you got to keep the kid clean. You got Wirfs. I like Cody Mock, but I'm going to add to that, man. Give me J.C. Latham. My whole goal here is to protect Baker Mayfield, keep him clean, and let him deal to those receivers.
Yeah, and the tackles, God, are so important. Baker, if he is not great, he likes to escape out the back. Not necessarily a great pocket climber, so the tackles are super, super important.
Yeah.
Now, do you see Latham starting off as a tackle, or do you think he's got that guard versatility? Because I personally think that you push him inside right guard, something like that.
I let him fail inward. I start him off at tackle, but you can always slide him in to right and leave Mock over on the left.
All righty, makes sense. Jay Will, you are now up with the Arizona Cardinals.
Who did they pick? I guess somebody picked for them earlier, right?
Oh,
yeah, they got some wide receiver from Ohio State.
Oh yeah, that guy. I think with J.C. Latham being gone, man, it's kind of you go the best available tackle, probably Mims, because Kyler needs that help, protection. We're gonna keep him healthy, so him and Marvin Harrison can just light that thing up.
He need that and a ladder on his short ass.
Hey, man, he be open though, bro.
Yeah.
The question is, can he see over top of Mims?
Like 6'7". Yeah,
Mims is 6'7". Yeah, he's a huge human being.
Yeah.
He's massive.
He's gonna ride Mims like a donkey all the way to the end zone. All right. Fair enough.
He's a very athletic prospect. I was looking at him and Troy Fontuano for probably like week 10, week 11 in the season. Like
I like Troy, man. Troy's a dog.
I like Troy.
Yeah, me too. All right, pick 28. It is now the Rams pick. I believe, Casey, you were part of this trade deal.
I'm back. You guys snagged my defensive tackles that I was looking at.
Both of them.
Yeah, both of them came off, but they came off late. It was worth the gamble, I think, to pick up the extra assets. So for me, I switch. They need help at edge. That's nothing really here enticing me. So I'm going defensive back. I'm going to go with Nate Wiggins. He's got the man's speed incarnate. He's light in the ass, but he's got the speed. And I think that's where they need the most of their help right now. After you get past the defensive line, we're going to have to circle back in the second. But right now, just snatch me Nate Wiggins.
All right, Nate Wiggins is. Next up, Detroit Lions. Mike, who are you taking crazy
for
here?
this pick? I was so excited for this pick because I thought for sure nobody was going to take a center. I was going to take Jackson Powers Johnson and pair him with Motor City Dan Campbell, and we were going to have fucking the most amazing content ever created from inside of an offensive line room. But that's not going to happen.
I normally don't speak highly of other NFC North opponents, but how about those new uniforms that they put out? I kind of like those blacks.
Those are clean.
I don't necessarily love the black ones.
I like it.
What do you mean by that, bro?
Racist motherfucker. What the hell?
Amber.
He said, "What the?"
I had to.
You got me. You got me.
Yeah.
Clip it, Amber. Please, Amber, clip it. All right. Well, let's get back on track, though.
Jay Will, he stayed clapping, man.
Yeah. He got my ass. I'll give him that. Pause.
Pause. Big pause.
Pause. I got the pause in there.
Fast forward.
All right, so we're going Lions. Got interior offensive line help's not really there. Edge rusher. God, it's a little high, but you know what? Fuck it. This is my favorite. This is my favorite pass rusher in the entire class. Chop Robinson going to the fucking Lions.
Okay.
Okay. Opposite of Jesus Christ, how did I forget his name?
Hutchinson.
Aiden Hutchinson.
Aiden Hutchinson. That would be a nice little combo.
Chop is ridiculous off the edge. His first step is
it's insane.
Fast as hell. I'm a big
Myles
Chop
Garrett level first step.
I just wanted to say I know who is on the board right now, and I know that J.O. is about to come on and make this pick. If you take him, we are no longer associating with each other. So just be prepared for that.
You got a personal vendetta against you.
If he takes who okay.
Yeah, I feel that.
Well, J.O., he isn't the one making this pick right now. It's Eric DaCosta, right?
Oh, that's good looking. Who did that for me? Did I mind to? Yeah, in the war room. Mm-hmm. Well, ladies and gents, man, I was kind of looking at Kool-Aid for them, but for some reason, man, I feel like the Ravens feel like they can plug and play on defense, and I feel like the guy that I'm going to select probably isn't someone that everybody would think, but I'm going to go and get him any fucking way because I was on this guy since January, and I'm going to make sure he gets taken in the first round. So with the 30th pick, the Baltimore Ravens try to duplicate that Anquan Bolden type of mold at receiver and select Xavier Legette from South Carolina.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm a big Legette fan.
I'm gonna be
as a Browns fan. The dream being dead hurts.
My dream's not dead. I thought he was picking my.
I know who you're. I know where you're at. It's God damn it, man.
Xavier Legette is somebody that I jumped on in January when everybody was kind of tossing around the receivers for the Browns. Some guy I'm super high on, but I do feel like the Ravens want to give Lamar some more power in that offense. You know, they tried to go out and bring in OBJ, and I don't know if that experiment necessarily worked. The rookie that they brought in, he did a great job this year for them, but I think they need to add a little bit more power to the punch on offense. So Xavier Legette, a.k.a. Anquan Bolden.
Hey, I love it. I think Legette absolutely should be a first-round receiver. He's one of my favorite guys, too. Makes a lot of sense to go up and grab the guy. People keep on talking about him being a burner potentially down the field. I still see him more over the middle. Look, we're talking about Spencer Rattler possibly being a late second, third round pick. The only reason why he has any stats to speak of there with the Gamecocks is because of Legette. Legette was out there catching anything thrown his way. So awesome receiver.
In tight coverage as well. His contested catch rate is insane.
I was gonna say he's the best in this class. And people call me crazy, but I think he's the best high point and contested catcher in this class. And people ask me, well, what about Marvin?
You talking about Legette, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. At the high point catching the ball, Legette got
it's like he's getting a rebound in basketball.
Yes.
I agree with that too.
And if anyone doesn't know Legette's story, after the mock draft, check it out. It's a pretty inspiring story. Everything that he's had to fight through, sticking there with South Carolina. He's a good dude, phenomenal speaking voice. All right, pick 31, San Francisco 49ers up. Jacob on the clock.
Yeah, okay, seriously. He does not sound like you think he's going to sound like.
No, he don't.
I was not the first time. I was like, oh, okay.
Hey, what'd you say, Jay Will?
He sound like one of my cousins, for real.
We got that deep South in him.
Oh, yeah.
For real.
Yeah, man. You've got to replace Trent Williams at some point, but outside of Trent Williams, that offensive line, I don't know how they made the Super Bowl with it. Like, it just was not very good. Like, and you got a guy that's incredibly flexible, that his home position's right tackle, but I think he's the kind of athlete that could potentially be your left tackle, and that's Tyler Guyton from Oklahoma. I think he's just a phenomenal athlete. Him and Mims are right there for me, where they're just fantastic athletes that I think you can mold, because they're not finished players. You know, Guyton's got way more experience than Mims, who's only got like 8 college starts. But these guys are just phenomenal athletes if you can develop him. 6'7", 327. You know, so he plays right tackle's his position, but I think his skill set can eventually put him on the left tackle. But you throw him out there right now opposite Trent Williams, and you're good to go.
Is that a typo?
No.
The dude has got like an insane athlete. Like, that's why what Jacob's saying, his skills translate to the left. He's an insane athlete. He's been winning on that pure athleticism, you know, in his time.
He can still fill out that frame a little bit too. I mean,
he looks
look at someone that already weighs that.
He does, because he's just so muscle bound for being 300.
Yep.
But you get some actual coaching in him there, and you might have a steal there. He might end up being like one of, if not the best tackles out of this class, even better than Joe Alt, if he's able to reach that pinnacle of being trained up at the spot.
That's insane.
I like it. All right. Last pick, gentlemen. I guess I don't want to assume any genders here, but gentlemen, it's a new day and age. We got Kansas City on the clock. Mo, take us home.
Mo. All right. So, you know.
Oh, wow.
You know,
I can't believe he's still there.
Yo, for real.
God, no.
This Patty Mahomes.
That's a no-brainer.
Man, he's here. So I can really go a couple options. You might as well just go to the receiver list.
Yeah, 100%. There's no way it's not a receiver.
So you got a couple options, right? Now, I'm just gonna say this is not the pick, but the wild card option for them, which would be insane because how they build their offense around people, is Malachi Corley. That fit for them would be nice. But I don't think that's who I'm going, though. Me personally, with Rashee Rice, what happened to him with the legal stuff, you don't know if he's going to play. You need you an underneath guy that can be savvy, that can run routes the right way. So, give me Ladd.
I expected AD. I expected AD right there.
I love that pick.
Yo, Ladd, he runs his routes, man, so much.
I think with him and Mahomes is the underneath. Like, Mahomes showed last season that he doesn't need to do the explosive play all the time, that he could take the check down. And if you have somebody like Ladd on the team, like how Rashee Rice was, they was getting open quick. You got Ladd that can get open quick. He's going to be an impact player for them. So,
who said they love that? Jacob?
Yes.
Are you saying that because he's white?
He would have been perfectly fine if they had taken Pearsall as well.
Oh my God! Hey,
we're saying that because Keon Coleman's still on the board.
Please don't keep Pearsall. I want my Browns to get Pearsall.
I had to get. I had to get back.
I was like, oh.
Hey, so the official black squad has selected a white receiver. Go.
But
And the
Let's
Asian community still likes the Wu-Tang Clan.
yeah,
Woo,
like I
too,
said, though, like
woo,
the
too.
nasty pick for them for me is Corley, just because how they build their offense around players. And Corley, I think, is a player that has to go to a system where if you build that offense around him, you see what I'm saying, with his skill set, he's going to be an animal. He's going to be nice.
All righty, gentlemen. Well, that is our first round. Are you guys ready for the next 6 rounds?
Hell no. Look,
You gotta take a pee
we're
break?
not doing that.
look,
I'm off take a piss.
Yeah, by
I'm
the
gonna
way,
need
we
to go
forgot
get
to
some
tell you guys,
food.
we're
Let me.
fucking going all night.
what I do, what I would like to get though is because I felt like the reason why OTC I wanted us to participate in this again. I felt like you guys are super knowledgeable, and I know every once in a while I've seen you guys like pop in our space, and every time I hear you guys, I feel like you guys have a lot to bring to the table, including Jacob. So I wanted to know, like, guys that weren't selected in this first round, is there any guys that we should keep our eye out for in the second round that you guys were super high on, that you feel like are first round guys that probably fell out?
Go for it.
Take it, Jacob. Say it.
You want me to do it?
Yeah, you know it is.
Stop overthinking Keon Coleman. Holy shit.
Oh,
Like,
man,
are
dude,
you
we're
kidding
off.
me? Goddamn. See, that was where I was saying, do not draft him for Baltimore.
I know.
That's who I was talking about when I said don't draft him at Baltimore.
I have him
That
as a
was-
third rounder. I hate him.
I do not like Keon Coleman either.
No,
I don't like him either. I have him as a
no.
2. I have him as a second rounder, but
I think he's late second, third rounder. Like, he's just cannot separate at all. He's a big body. He should be able to separate with his athleticism. He just doesn't do it. It doesn't do it for me.
Fastest gauntlet drill ever.
I probably have like 6 or 7 guys above him in my receiver rankings that weren't taken.
I got him late second too, Evo.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, so do you think he's like lower towards like Devontae Walker low?
And I'm not a big Devontae Walker fan either. Like, big time athleticism, but doesn't have the hands. I have Devontae as a little bit better, but still, that's the late second guy for me. I'm taking Malachi Corley, Jacob Cowing earlier, Troy Franklin, obviously. A.D. Mitchell, who's still on there, is one of the guys that I do feel like is a first round talent. He had some lapses at Texas, but like really, really talented. I think that he could be one of the surprises in this draft at receiver.
But like, I'm just curious because I would really love to. I really love to know people's process with these things, and it's like I get it. I know that with Keon Coleman, you're either super high or super low. There's nobody in the middle for whatever reason. He's either Megatron 2.0 or he's Anthony Schwartz. Like, I don't know. He's everybody.
Jesus Christ.
No, he's not that
crazy.
Damn, Jacob.
I didn't say that.
Big body guy, but doesn't separate. And I am notoriously like a huge fan of like 3-cone drill because that is the almost direct translation to separation in the NFL. And like he doesn't do it. Like, give me a guy that has run a 3-cone drill that can get in and out of breaks. That's the dude I want. That's what wins in the NFL. Keon Coleman is a big body and he's an athlete. But every single cornerback, every safety is the same caliber, if not better athlete than Keon Coleman is.
And look, to me, like, he is super, super athletic, and it doesn't translate to me on the field. He doesn't get yards after catch. He basically ran just one route of the tree. He was just kind of a go guy. I don't know. I like what he brings to the table, except for I just didn't see it on the field. Like, I think he should be a lot more.
Okay, so that comes back to the question you talk about not getting anything after the catch and your athleticism not translating on the tape. That's A.D. Mitchell to a T. Like, A.D. Mitchell went out there and crushed the combine, and everything that he did at the combine, I went, where's that on tape? Like I watched you quit on routes where you were the number one read. I watched that. I saw it time and time again. There's not a 4.4 guy on tape with A.D. Mitchell. Like, he's this freak athlete that, like, okay, I guess he's a freak athlete. That's what you tell me, but it doesn't translate on paper. I think it's fascinating to watch everybody talk about this wide receiver class because everybody, like after the top 3, shit hits the fan with everybody. They're like, let's get Keon Coleman. And it's like, no, fuck Keon Coleman. Like, it's like, I love it.
He's not like an undraftable guy for me. I just think he's bigger hype for me than it should be. I think he hits his peak. He's a Juwan Jennings big slot like they have out in San Fran. That's kind of where I see him hitting his ceiling. But being as athletic as he is, I'd like to see more, yak, more being able to break tackles and stuff like that. But I'm just not as big on him as I could be.
I'm with you.
I got a name that did not go in the first round that we've had mocked in our first rounds both times. Kool-Aid. Kool-Aid does not go in our first round mock here.
Yeah. I was going to pick him up for Baltimore.
Where are you guys at on Kool-Aid? For me, I'm like, could be the best cornerback in the draft. Does he know he's playing football? It's 2 fucking options, and there's no middle ground for me.
Sometimes he looks like that 5-year-old playing t-ball that's out in the outfield picking his nose.
Oh shit!
Like he gets distracted sometimes. But when he does play, and if you get 100% effort out of him the entire time, he could be the best corner in this draft.
Yeah, that's just it. I think you got to get him in a press man system. I think that's where he's going to excel. You got guys who are better off, cover 3 type guys. But if you run a heavy press man, Kool-Aid's a dude.
Yeah, I had him. Actually, that was actually my pick for the Ravens, but Xavier.
Then why? Why did you take Leggett? That kills me. I'm still pissed. Still pissed. Jesus.
Okay, well, see, look. So, being honest, I really want Leggett to fall to us in the second round. By us, I mean the Browns.
Yes, 100%.
But I just feel like, I don't know, man. I feel like I wanted to fuck the Ravens over and still pick one of my best guys in the first round because honestly, I feel like they probably need a DB, right? I feel like they need a DB over there in Baltimore. Like, I don't know. So I just kind of went away from them a little bit. And I wanted
they needed to pick a punter is what they needed to do.
Hey, Tory Taylor's out there. I love Tory Taylor as a punter out of Iowa.
No, not the punters. Okay.
Punter talk.
I like
we're now punter talk.
We're in the deep corners of NFL podcasting. Tory Taylor.
I can't.
Let's talk about Aussie punters.
Can we real quick while we're spitballing? I wanted to ask a question for everybody before we get out of here. What do you guys think Browns are going to do the first pick? You think we're trading back, or you think we're going to stand firm and trade? And where do you guys think Xavier Worthy is going to fall?
Oh,
good question.
Xavier Worthy is so polarizing when you talk.
I got him lower than Keon Coleman as well.
Nice.
Agreed.
Hot take.
John Ross 2.0.
Let's go. Ooh.
He can track a football, though, man. John Ross. That dude was clueless out there.
Damn. Evo, you hate these fuckers, huh?
It's such a deep class. These are definitely guys that are late first, second round picks that are just falling for me because I've got so many other options to like.
It's not even necessarily a knock on them as much as it's like a praise for the other guys.
Yeah.
Because that's when I was very early on in this draft process, I did a show with Randy Gursey, the editor over at Dog Pound Daily. We did a running back class episode. It wasn't Brown centric. It was just running backs in general. Neither one of us had Blake Corum in the top 5. And it was more so like, I'm not big on Blake Corum, but it had more to do with the guys that we put ahead of them as praise of them, saying,
right.
Oh, I love Troy Franklin. I love, and maybe you love A.D. Mitchell. You love whoever it is. I just love those guys more than I love Xavier Worthy. I think that's where he is, but I still think ultimately he's a day 2 pick somewhere. Yeah. But he probably falls closer to the 3rd, somewhere towards the end of the 2nd, early 3rd is probably, that's where I think he goes.
Yeah. Early in this process, I was worried he was going to get overdrafted, and that's what gives you the bust potential. You know what I mean? But I think if he falls in appropriate range, it lowers the expectations, and you could, play him appropriately, just give him a certain role instead of asking too much, because he isn't a multifaceted, but he does have that speed. You have to follow the right situation to use that.
Yeah. I think Worthy reminds me a lot of Jalen Hyatt, which Jalen Hyatt ended up being a first rounder next year, overdrafted because of that class and everything. But it's not that he's not great. It's just I got a lot of receivers I really do like in this class. So it's an awesome class. And that's as far as the Browns. I think you guys could be looking at a receiver there. You want Leggett, but chances are where you're picking in the second, there's gonna
Pearsall
be
would be a
decent guys
very
there.
nice second
Mike,
option. In my
say
opinion.
it again, Mike. I've been banging the
Pearsall
table
would
for
be a very
Pearsall.
nice second option.
Preach.
Oh, I love him. Yeah,
Oh.
we love him.
I like
Call him-
Sumatea.
We call him
If
Pretty
Sumatea
Ricky.
falls in that range, I think they
Yep.
should be all over
Okay,
that.
okay.
I'm leaning
Kingsley.
Yeah, we
offensive
call him
line.
Pretty Ricky
Yeah.
around these parts. That's Pretty
That's
Ricky
right.
right there, man.
Pretty Ricky.
I love Pretty Ricky. No, I do. I love. I just wrote up a profile on him for Browns Wire like a week or so ago. I think he's
Ooh, Pearsall.
fantastic. Yeah, Pearsall. Yeah,
think
I
that was
just
Wyatt.
think. Son of a bitch! You got me again. Man, I didn't have to say yes. I could have just kept
Yeah.
talking. He wouldn't
Yeah,
have
coming back next
Dude,
year.
roll right past it.
Oh, come
There's
on,
always
Jacob.
next year, guys. We're
Jacob, no,
used to
Jacob,
that.
no. I like Jacob. I like fucking with Jacob.
Oh
We good
no,
people.
man. I
Go
love
ahead,
it.
though,
I love
Jacob.
it. But man, I think offensive line. Sneak peek into what is my final mock draft. It'll be probably published Monday morning or something. I go Cooper Beebe in this situation just because I think he's probably the best pure guard in this class. You might like Frazier from West Virginia a little bit more, but he's a center guard kind of player. But Beebe can kick out to left tackle in the future potentially, or he just sits there and is the heir apparent for Joel Bitonio. And I think he's just got so much of. I think if I was giving Cooper Beebe a player's comp, it's Joel Bitonio. I think they play the game the exact same. So you want to see you want to seamlessly go from a decade of Bitonio to Beebe. Yeah, let's do it.
That's
Yeah, sign me
crazy
the
because
fuck up for that.
Batonio kicked out at left tackle and did it seamless.
Yep.
See,
That's
Yeah,
crazy.
I would consider a different Cooper and think about Edgerrin Cooper too if he's there, man. That's
Yes,
a guy that I'm
sir.
fascinated with in this draft, man. It's going to be interesting to see where he falls.
I don't have any first round grades on any of the linebackers in this class, but if we can get a guy there, that would be great.
Mhm.
See,
What
I
happened?
have
What?
a different approach to it. I feel like I don't know, man. I just feel like us is gonna be depending on how the board falls. Like I feel
yeah,
like
they're
if
fluid.
tackles fall, then we're getting one. But I feel like if the tackles is gone and we see a receiver that we like, we may even trade up to get one, and that'll be somebody like Franklin because we met with Franklin like two times already. We met with Ladd. I don't think Ladd's falling past 40s in
No.
my opinion, to be honest. But
Same.
of course, Leggett, I think has the craziest range of where he can go.
Yep.
Him and Keon Coleman has the craziest ranges. You have Leggett like at the bottom of the first, and you see other mocks where Leggett is like bottom of the second, early third. It's a crazy range which he can go in. But like Mike said, I'm a Pearsall fan. I just like the separation he can create. If you could get him, Coop, Judy, and Njoku all on the field at one time, you ain't gonna be able to run no man coverage out there at all. Everybody can run a route. Everybody. So yeah, I want receiver, but also if a good tackle is there, sure up that left side, and you're gonna have Dewan on the right already. I don't want to move Dewan. Keep Dewan where he's at. Let him focus and hone his skills on the right side. Don't do what you just did with Jed, and you had to have him adjust for 4 years and he struggled. Get a pure left tackle, somebody that can pass protect and can be decent, at least average in the run game, and you said.
No, I think what
Well,
Jacob brought up was Kingsley Suamatea is an awesome pick as well. He's got left-right versatility. He's someone that you can, transition into as well. Or Amagadaji, I believe, Kieran.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
It's
Oh my
current
God, yeah.
too. Current. It's like a U. Current Amagadaji. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think 85 is a good spot for him.
Jacob, you're a Browns fan. I don't know who else is Browns. I assume Casey.
Everybody in here is a Browns fan, I believe, with the exception of Evo, who is one
sweet.
by proxy.
I am,
sweet.
I'm not an anti-Browns person by any
There we
Okay,
means.
go.
so what I've been pushing, what Vikings fans have always been cool with me, so that makes sense that you are too, Evo. I was okay, and everything that I've been mocking, I've traded back out of the second round, first pick for us, and I picked a guy that I know some people are gonna feel some type of way about, but I picked Benson, the kid out of Florida State, after I moved back.
Yeah.
What are you guys' thoughts about that?
Running back 2 in this class for me. I mean, the only guy I have higher than Benson is Jonathan Brooks, and there's some questions with the injuries in the 1 year of production. But like Benson feasted as a shotgun runner, And that's what the Browns are going to.
Yep.
He's explosive. He's strong. He's athletic. I think
got
he's
a
the whole
number
package.
He can do everything. Runs out of the gun.
Just a second, okay?
Would you be mad? Would you guys be upset as Browns fans if we traded back a little bit and picked up Benson with our first pick, our running back?
No, but it also depends on what else you pick up for coming back. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because we need a 4th-round pick. If you look at the value in this draft, the 3rd and 4th rounds, there's a ton of value. Brown's sitting without a 4th. If we can maneuver that and get in that sweet spot, you know what I mean? I think that's the move.
Yeah. Okay.
Then if you do that, then I was gonna say, then if you do that, hopefully Jermaine Burton fall a little bit. You can go snag
guy.
Burton.
You know where I'm going next.
Yeah.
You know where I'm going next. Burton. All right. I just want to get people's feel on that. I think people. I know naturally we all love Chubb, right? And we feel like what happened to him was fucked up. And we all hate Fitzpatrick because of that bullshit he pulled. But I know a lot of people, you know, if we drafted a running back with our first pick, I know a lot of people want to.
Yeah, they'd be in their feels.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So that's why I just wanted to get you guys.
Honestly, I would be a little upset if that's our first pick. Because I feel like there's other areas of need. We need another receiver. We need some offensive line help. We could use a linebacker.
You need a tight end not named David Njoku.
We need a second tight end.
Davion, please.
Sanders,
yeah.
Honestly, a guy that I would love to fucking find a way to grab, Tavondre Sweat. No. I want him so bad. He is
already got Siaka Ika. Already got one of those guys.
Everything that we thought that Siaka Ika was gonna be.
No, we never.
That's what Tavondre Sweat is.
I
one down player.
He's a one-down player at best. Really, no pass. He is Siaki Ika, like
with better PR.
He's way better than Siaki Ika.
He's
sorry,
also,
Siaki, but I mean,
Ika sucks. Let's be honest. Like it was a terrible pick. I don't know why we're doing it, but I just don't. I don't want to draft the same guy a year later that we spent a 3rd-round pick on, man. Like I and maybe I'm just a hater. I am. I know.
But that's not Barry's MO. Barry doesn't move off his players that quickly.
True.
I think one thing about that though, I don't think we need another space eater because Siaki wasn't built for rushing the passer. If anything, if we get interior D line, I think it's got to be like a young 3-tech, somebody that can rush the passer.
Michael Hall, yeah.
Yeah, like somebody like that you can.
Oh no!
No!
What happened?
I would have, Mike. I came at you. On that. I didn't mean to do it like that.
Sweat is a trigger word for Jacob.
More than one time, you know that we are totally fucking cool with.
That's a trigger
having
word.
A little bit of discourse, having a little bit of back and forth.
He feels that's his Keon Coleman for you guys. He's not high on Sweat at all.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm like,
I like Sweat. I scored on him a little bit, not because of the DUI or DWI or whatever it is, but like he does have a little bit more trouble at that size taking on double teams and whatnot. But he's still surprisingly a good pass rusher for that size.
Yeah,
but if you're talking about, he is that kind of rundown only type of player, not just because of his size, but like he's gonna need breaks because he's that fucking big.
And how much bigger is he going to get? Look at his weight fluctuation year to year. Not weighing into Senior Bowl. What was he there? There's question marks there.
That's why when you're taking a guy that's only going to be on the field 33% of your defensive snaps at best, you're really looking at a 3rd, maybe even worst case falling to the 4th round type of player potentially. Even though I'm a fan of him, I have been through the process, but like he's not an every down guy, which is why you aren't talking about him potentially higher and things like that.
If we're thinking about this Browns team and a space eater, like because Joke just had a phenomenal year with an improved interior or defensive line. Like he was penetrating immediately. He was so I see the face, Jacob.
Pause.
Maybe not the right way to use penetration. He was so quick to trigger, and because we're eating up so much space, like I would love to have a guy that can.
I'm getting ready to get off there right now.
Eat up space, and then also get a little bit of a pass rush. Siaki Ika never did that. Tavondre has actually shown a little bit of that ability.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
I think because most D line, it takes a while for them to develop or get to the point where they actually like do show you like those crazy abilities like Vita Vea or Aaron Donald. Honestly, is the standard, but I think it honestly take time. And Siaka, it's gonna take some time, but I think once he gets to that point, he's gonna really show what he's capable of.
He better turn into Vince Wilfork real fucking quick because he can't do anything else.
Hey,
Just the way this
I'm
room's constructed, I don't see him getting on the field.
Yeah, me neither. I got a jet, fellas. Once again, Sleeveless Mike, Evo, man, I appreciate y'all boys, man. I honestly do, man. It's really cool to be able to do this around this time of year. It's exciting for Browns fans. Um, good to talk to you, Casey. Hopefully I get to talk to you more. Jacob, you
Yes,
already
sir.
know, man. Me and you, we kind of cross paths on Twitter every now and again. I always appreciate your work. Jay Will, Mo, y'all know what's up, man. Clock Boys, I
Yes.
appreciate y'all, man. Y'all did a great job. I feel like everybody did a great job. I'm gonna be prepared for the trading and shit next year. Evo and Sleeveless Mike. All right,
Hey,
I feel like
you have a standing invitation, brother. Anytime you want to come on.
Hey man, I appreciate y'all boys for real. Go Browns, man. Hopefully it'll be a good NFL year. Hopefully the draft brings some shocks and some nice trades. Y'all have a good night, man. Y'all have a blessed evening, man. OTC, man. I'm out.
All right,
Later,
Jay.
man.
See you, man.
Later.
Yeah,
J.O.
I think this Brown season can be a good one, man. I think that additions we made, we can make some noise. I think health is just our main concern. Like really our main
Yeah.
concern is health. That's really
That's
what
it,
it is.
man.
That is absolutely it. But guys, we're gonna go ahead and wrap this thing up. But before we do that, there's a ton of Browns fans in here. Evo, let's hear about the Vikings real quick. This is not only a Brown-centric show. Let's hear a little bit about how you feeling about your boys going in. How do you feel coming out of this mock draft?
Purple people eaters, man.
Yeah, them purple people eaters. Look, I am happy taking a quarterback. That's kind of where I'm at. I have gone through so many fluctuations over the past, I'll say, 6 to 8 months, knowing that we are probably moving off from Kirk Cousins to the point that I am comfortable with basically any of the top 5. If you consider Penix part of the top 5, we don't talk about Bo Nix around here.
No,
but I'm comfortable with any of them because I feel really good about the situation, and a lot of a quarterback success is going down to the situation. Like, yes, you need talent, but good coaching, good receiving, good line play. I know that we got all that in Minnesota, and so I'm happy with May. He scares me the most out of the top 4, I think, as far as boom or bust. But I'm okay with him at the end of the day. I think that he probably needs to sit more than the other guys that are going out there. But for the move that to get up to 3 that was made, if that's actually what it takes to get up there, I'm happy with that. I feel like that could still be a little bit on the low end if they're really looking for that Godfather deal in New England. But I'm happy with it, man. Otherwise, like, worst case for me is we aren't able to trade up and get a guy. And that's still not even terrible because at 11, I'm okay with Penix and then keeping pick 23 and either taking a good defender or moving back and getting some extra draft capital. I just feel like as Vikings fans in general would probably be very upset that we did make the move for 23 and didn't move up to get a guy. It's going to feel a little bit not as fun, but I'm happy with it. I'm happy with the way that the draft played out with this one. So, yeah, I'm all for it. And look, whoever we take, I'm going to be rooting for pretty hard.
Yeah, you're getting behind no matter who it is. So that makes sense. I did the same thing when we drafted Johnny Manziel. I didn't enjoy it, but I did the same thing.
Yeah. So Evo, before we wrap up, who was your guy though? Who was the guy that you want?
It is JJ McCarthy at pick 5. If we aren't able to get up to 3 and get a Jaden Daniels or a Drake May, then I would feel like the sweet spot is pick 5 for JJ McCarthy because I think I'm higher on him than most are. But I told Mike, I think yesterday, I was like, hey, I think that there might be something brewing that 3 is probably back on the books for May because there's rumors out there that KOC, Kevin O'Connell, has been talking about May since before this last season.
Didn't y'all
and that's kind of his guy.
McCown too?
What's that?
Y'all hired Josh McCown too, right?
We did, yeah. Who was Drake May's?
Yeah.
He was Drake May's coach in high school.
Mm-hmm.
So there's some connections. It's a loose connection for me at the end of the day, but yeah. I'm just happy as long as we get one of those top, 4 or 5 guys after Caleb.
Let me ask you just out of curiosity because Browns fans have experienced this recently as well. Would you give up what the Browns gave up for Watson for one of these guys? Because essentially 3 first rounders, You know,
Yeah.
a couple more day two picks. The fourth, there was a fourth in there. You know what I'm talking about? All these,
Yeah.
the haul they essentially gave up for Watson. Are you okay to do that for Drake May, Jaden Daniels, McCarthy, whoever the guy is? But are you willing to give that price tag up?
Because there's not the financial price tag with it. Yes.
Yeah.
That's
the biggest point for me is that look, Kwesi Adofo-Mensah and Kevin O'Connell, they are hitting, year 3 of being on this team. They have a pretty long leash. If they make the right choice, they're heroes. If they fuck up and they lose all these picks for us, they'll be gone anyway. So they don't care. So they're gonna shoot their shot. The Vikings have never taken a quarterback in the top 10 before. It's exciting for me as a fan to go ahead and do that. And I think you have to take your shot. You can't hope on luck that a guy that you get, is the 5th quarterback or whatever taken off the board ends up developing and becoming, a Pat Mahomes or something like that, or a Lamar Jackson at pick 32. It doesn't happen all the time. Otherwise, everyone would just wait on their pick and take a quarterback later in the first. I think some of the benefits of those guys that we're taking later is that typically if you're picking top 5, it's because your team is dog shit. And so you're going into a dog shit situation. Like I feel for any quarterback that gets taken by the Patriots at pick 3, if they stick and pick, like that guy's career could be ruined. Who knows? We talk about Sam Darnold, and I joke about Sam Darnold, resurrecting his career with Minnesota, but like the guy, how is he expected to succeed with the Jets?
Yeah.
Like such a terrible situation. I think you take Pat Mahomes and put him in that situation, and he's nowhere near what he is today. So like, I think that we can be successful with any of those guys. If we do take a guy and they're successful, the amount of picks will be forgotten immediately. No one's going to go and be like, we shouldn't have traded 3 firsts and that extra for, player X because, they're a top 5 quarterback in the league or something, but it's not worth giving up that much draft capital. It absolutely is, and you won't worry about it.
Winning cures all. Doesn't matter what you gave up. Doesn't matter what happened. If you're fucking winning, you're winning. It doesn't matter how you got there.
The reality is we're only going to be seeing the draft implications of this next year. By the sounds of it, it's going to be the 2 firsts this year and a first next year, and then some extra. Like if we give up a 2026 first, then I'm going to kind of be like, well, what are we doing here? But like at that point, the implications of that are kind of cut off after next year. And so it's kind of hedging your bets that way, where it's like, if things don't work out, we're not completely selling our future.
You guys might want to hit social media and watch this video of Jameis Winston interviewing a fish.
I'm going to check that out for sure. By the way, Jameis Winston, I love the character of Jameis Winston. I'm so excited to see Prescott, like just because they're going to talk to Jameis Winston even if he's not playing.
Oh, yeah.
Jameis is fucking comedy 100% of the time. I love Jameis. Actually, my comp for Michael Penix is left-handed Jameis Winston.
Nice.
Dude, he accidentally put the microphone at the fish's butt. He wasn't even interviewing the right side of the fish. I'm telling you, this thing is I got subtitles on, so I can't hear what they're saying, but I got the subtitles on here, and he just keeps asking this fish. He's out on a fishing boat somewhere interviewing a fish, and ESPN posted it. I don't know.
Hell yeah.
Nice. All right, Mike. Well, I think it's time to take us out if we're talking about
we're talking about Jameis Winston talking, holding the mic to a fish's ass. That means it's time to get out of here. Guys, this is the Lineman Lounge. I'm Mike. That's Evo. Thank you to the guys from the Barking Browns, Casey, Jacob, OTC, Mo, J. Will, J.O., all you guys, man. I cannot thank you enough. If you want to interact with our show, go to Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube Shorts as well. We are putting out new content all the fucking time. It should be at least one short basically every day at this point. If you want to listen to our show, go to any podcast platform. You can hear us there. But with that, we're going to get the fuck out of here. So thank you guys.
Let the boys, where can we find everyone else?
Where can we find everybody else? You're right. Thank you, Evo.
We got to promote everyone here. It's a community.
You can find me on Twitter, JWill910. And that's pretty much it, really.
You can find me on Twitter, Morax, MOORACKKSS OTC. Just the Browns.
We do host spaces too.
we talk about everything. You know, we let all teams come through and talk ball once we actually talk ball. You know, but it's the Browns led community. But you know, we trying to change some of the social media ways of the extra stuff where we can actually talk about ball, be realistic. You can have your brown and orange shades on or whatever color, but you know, to actually talk about the ball and get real conversations going. So that's what we're doing this year.
Nice.
You can find me at the X-Bird app at Casey_Kinnaman. Dog Pound Daily is the label that pays. Catch me and Jacob every Tuesday night, 8 o'clock, Barking Browns, YouTube, Twitch. Catch us on Twitter. And dude, if you subscribe to Twitch, Jacob's going to do the milk challenge. So let's do that. Let's make that shit happen.
We need five more Twitter or Twitch subscribers, and if you've got Amazon Prime, you can subscribe to the channel for free. You get one of those every month if you link your Twitch and your Amazon Prime account. So it's twitch.tv/the Barking Browns. If we get 5 more subs before tomorrow at midnight, I will chug a half a gallon of milk on Tuesday.
We got 46 people watching right now.
Yeah,
and I'm watching. In addition to that, I'll jump on right now and knock that out.
I'll get there. I got you a sub. I'm gonna make your ass drink some milk for sure.
There we go.
You look like you need some calcium.
Let's go.
All right, guys. Well, thank you, everybody. But with that, we're going to get the fuck out of here. Thank you, everybody who tuned in. Anytime you give us some of your time, that's the most valuable thing you have. We cannot thank you enough for that. But we're going to get out of here. So I'm Mike. That is Evo. Love you. Appreciate you. We'll be back next week. See you.